Hi, I'm glad you dropped by. My name is Lynda Phippen, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ontario, Canada. And I want to show you a lovely card, and let's just get started. Just let me zoom this in a little bit. So here's the card. It's from the Hydrangea Haven suite, and it really is a beautiful card. It can be, this one I made, You Made Me Smile, but we today are going to do a happy birthday card with that sentiment. So I just want to show you the products so you have an idea of what we're working with. So this is the Hydrangea Haven Stampin' Up! Set, and there's a die set in there as well. This is the 3D embossing powder called Brick and Mortar, and it makes a lovely background. You can see all the bricks on there, very pretty. I've used 2 circle dies out of this set, and here we have sentiments, and I'm just using the happy birthday, but this particular set is called Here's a Card, so it has all of the sentiments we would probably use for our cards. And the last one we have is A Touch of Ink, which is a free stamp from January and February. This is the butterfly that we're going to be using today. So those are the products. So let's get started. So I have my base, about 7 inches of gorgeous grape ribbon. The 2 colors that we're going to be using is Gorgeous Grape and Old Olive for the greenery for the flowers. So let's get started. First of all, we are going to use the tape runner and just get some tape on here to get started. We always try our best to get it centered. There we go. Now on the right hand side, I'm going to put just this one little bit of tape for the ribbon. So just put it on there, wrap it around. It's about 1 inch in. Try to get it straight. And then we put tape along here to put it on the base of our card. There we go. So far, so good. Now, I wanted to show you all of the cutouts that we'll be using today. So let me see here if we can see. There we go. We're just going to zoom it out just a little bit so you can see. So these are all the pieces. The butterfly, the hydrangea, and that's how it shows. This is a really cute little die that goes all together, and it cuts out all of these flowers. This is the hydrangea die, which these are the flowers that we've cut out. The stem, the 2 circles, 2 inches and 2.5 inches and 2 inches, and then 2 pieces for the butterfly. So those are the pieces we're going to be using today. So I'm going to take the Gorgeous Grape, Excuse my chair making all this noise. There we go. So there's the layering. Gorgeous grape. And we're going to do the butterfly first. This is such a pretty butterfly. So we need two stamps of the butterfly. I'm going to put it down here. And a little trick that I've learned, this is a foam dabber, and I'm just putting it in the ink to color our butterfly. So it doesn't matter going out of the lines because we're going to fussy cut it. So it's a really quick method of coloring, and you almost get an ombre if you leave the white in the middle. And so what I did was fussy cut it. And I really did cut off the poor butterfly's body. Now the other thing I did, just what I thought was a nice little touch, was I took the dabber and I've just gone over all of the edges to give it a little bit more dimension and to fix up any of my mistakes on my cutting, which, you know, is highly possible. So I've done that with two pieces, and you'll notice there's no body on it, but that's okay because we're going to put it behind the hydrangea. And I off-centered it a little bit and folded up this piece so it gives it a little dimension. We're just going to set it aside so that we can just let it dry. So the next step we're going to do is to put together our two pieces. I'm going to put it this way. Happy birthday. So just a few little pieces of glue on there. Center it nicely. And then just a couple of dimensions on the back. So we'll give it some height. And we'll just take these off. And then we are going to put it on our card. I'm going to put it this way so you can see. So there we go. It's starting to look like a card. Now I've cut out 3 hydrangea flowers, and on this die all of these pieces are cut, so you can, to give dimension, is just lift them all up. And if you've ever seen a hydrangea plant, you know, or flower, you know that these blossoms are just beautiful and plentiful on each sort of cluster of them. They're just a lovely plant. So you can kind of wrestle with them a little bit. Of course, we didn't want that all over the card. So I'm just going to place them first before I glue them down to see how they're going to look, because we do want the butterfly to fit on the top, so you don't want them too high. So the die for the leaves includes the top part, but for today we only want the leaves. So I just have this mat down because I'm getting glue all over everything, and the glue does not stick to this. So I'm cutting off the top part because I don't want it. And sometimes the glue gets between where you don't want it. Placing the outlined leaves on top of the solid leaves again gives it a little bit of dimension. And what we want to do is put that there again, making sure that we have room. So now when we get everything laid out, it makes it much easier to glue them down because we know we have room. So this time I'm just going to use glue. So our stem looked good right about there. Again, I want to make sure that the butterfly has room. And something I wanted to point out about these hydrangeas that give them such a multicolor is the DSP, which is designer series paper that comes with this, has lots of designs. So what I did was I cheated and I just used this paper and die cut them out through the machine. So this here I used for the multi-labels, blossoms, and this one I used for the purple. There's also lots of blue and pink in this designer series paper. So quite pretty for sure. So let's glue these down on each side. That looks good. And this one looks pretty good. Now this one I'm going to put dimensionals on. Again, to give it a little depth. Stick that on right about there. Yep. The butterfly slips underneath the flower. Now he doesn't look like he's amputated. And okay, so these little buds that I have, blossoms, and I have 2 more leaves that I'm going to put on. So when you work with decorating and florals, or stamping, you do things in sets of odd numbers. So 3, 5, 7. So we'll put 3 of these right on there. And because I want really more than just 3, I'm going to use 5. So there we've got one there. And I'll just stick this one right here. And I'm thinking we need just a little bit more greenery up here. So let's put this one there. And these I die cut and stamped on them so you can see the veins of the leaves. So there we go. We don't need those. And then I put some little bit of shiny pearls on the middle of those tiny little buds, or florets. I'm not quite sure what we call them, but you get the idea. Okay. So you need to have a few, something on the inside. So, of course, it's not this one. This one here, I put in happy birthday. The world is a better place because of you. And that's how I stamp the inside, which I'll stamp on the inside of this later. For me, I always put my Hallmark stamp on here, but it's actually a sticker made by me just for you, 100% Canadian. Actually, this is made just for you by me, 100% Canadian. And that goes on all of my cards that I make. And the last step for any card, for me, is to just decorate the envelope. So what I like to do, we'll get out the gorgeous grape. And the old olive. So on the outside of the envelope, and there's no right and wrong way to do it, it's whatever you prefer. So I put my butterfly on the front, and then I like to just decorate the flap of the envelope. So there's the envelope stamp. Then there's a few buds that we can stick on here. And then just add a few leaves. And there's our finished envelope with the flap, the card, and the sentiment, which I keep pulling the wrong one, and the sentiment ready for mail. So I hope you enjoyed making this card with me today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and please subscribe if you want to be part of Have a great day, and I will be back next week with another card made just for you, and hopefully it makes you smile. Have a great week. Bye-bye.